This is an open letter to my pink skin friends about the pink skin media or the pink skin controlled media. A letter to my pink skin friends about the pink skin controlled media. When I say pink skin controlled media, is like we already know it's like 90% of all the wealth in the world is in the hand of the pink skins. Upper echelon of the pink skin society. 90% of the wealth of the world, includes of North America and Europe and, another piece of land that the Europeans had taken over in Australia and New Zealand and all of South America and all of that. All of that, if you include, you will see about 90% of the world's wealth, current wealth, is in the hand of the upper echelon of the pink skin society, who control the pink skin media. So I want to talk about them to my pink skin friends, average Joes. Uh, Here's the thing, folks. Imagine you're a police officer and you're called into a hospital, and you go to the hospital and you're called to interview a guy who's been shot in the hospital. He was shot in the leg twice. And you go to the hospital and you say, "Hey, buddy, you're not looking so good. What happened?" And the guy in the hospital with 2 bullet wounds in his leg turns to you and says, "Officer, I would like to make a complaint." And that you should go and arrest this guy. This guy is the father of this girl who had supplied her with a gun. And you're like, "Okay, please go on." And the guy says, "Yes, you see, officer, we were about to make love. Me and that girl were about to make love, but because she had a gun in her possession, she shot me twice in the leg, as you can see. Now I want you, officer, to please go arrest her and arrest her father who had supplied her the gun. Punish them." The officer, imagine yourself, my pink skin friend, put yourself in the officer's shoe. The officer is gonna, scratch his head and say, "I'm sorry, what? You were about to make love to that girl? You had gone on a date with that girl. This is your story, that you were on a date with this girl and you were about to make love, and then she shot you? Are you kidding me?" And the guy is gonna say, yes, officer, that's it. If she didn't have a gun, we would be making love right now. But because she had a gun, she shot me. So please go ahead, officer. Please arrest her and punish whoever who supplied her the gun, which was her father or her brother." In a sane society, my pink skin friends, the officer would be saying that, "Okay, we will have a talk with them, but let me put the cuffs on you right now. The man with the 2 bullet wounds in his leg, let me put the cuffs on you right now and hold you until we get this story straight. Because, I'm a cop, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I know that if the woman is happy and she has gone on a date and she wants to make love to you, just having access to a fucking gun is not going to put 2 bullets in your leg. It's obvious to me as a cop, it's obvious to me as a sane man, that the reason you have 2 bullets in your leg is because you probably were trying to rape her. And she wasn't into it, so she shot you. And I don't care who the fuck provided her with a gun. I think that was a good idea. Obviously, because if she hadn't had the gun, she would have been raped. She would have been raped. So, in a sane society, the sane cop, the sane police officer, puts the cuff on the guy and then goes and investigates, and probably he's right. He was trying to rape her and she shot her. Salute. I want you, my pink skin friend, I want you to remember this story, this joke, the next time they tell you about the Russian backed Malian rebels, Iran backed Hamas, Chinese backed Burmese. The next time you hear this, I want to remember this story. You see, before it was, you know, Viet Cong, Chinese backed Viet Cong. Before these, there was Chinese backed Viet Cong. Before these, there was the, you know, Cuba, Cuban backed Angolan rebels. What was that? That was, the white people from Northern Hemisphere, the white corporations, the pinkskins from Northern Hemisphere were trying to rape the Angolan resources, and the Angolan people have had an idea about how much wealth they're sitting on, and they were trying to fight back and keep some of that wealth for themselves. And yes, the Cuban backed some Angolan rebels. Do you see where I'm going with this? They are rebels because they are being raped. Either they have been raped or they're about to get raped. So they become rebels. Yes, if you try to rape a woman, she's going to become a rebel too. I don't care how, weak she is, she's going to try to scratch your eyes out. And that should be the case. So the point that you say that if Cuba was not backing those Angolans, we would be making love with them, and instead they're shooting at us just because they have guns. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think that, Iranian-backed Hamas or Russian-backed Malian revolutionaries or coup leaders or whatever. This idea that, and they put the name of the group of people or the country or the tribe that they want to, if they want you to hate, they put that name first. So it becomes, Iran backed this, the China backed that, and the Russia backed the other, and the Cuba backed the other, and the Venezuela, whoever is, the Korean, but North Korean backed rebels and factions and this and that and the other. They put that name first, and then whoever is, because it's the name of the father who has provided the weapons and the training to her daughter, so her daughter can defend herself if she's about to get raped. So they want you to hate that name first. And whoever the fuck is, whoever the fuck is the rapee, that's not that important. We're gonna get to them anyway. Let's take care of the big brother who has supplied the weapons or the arms, the father that has supplied the arms. Let's take care of that. Let's form the public opinion against the main guy we want to go after. We want to go shoot the father so we can, make love to the daughter. If we take care of the father and remove the guns, then we can have our way with the daughter. However, she's unwelcoming. That's the scenario. The next time they tell you that they tell you that the Houthis are only shooting at us because they have guns. If they didn't have guns, we would be making loves. We would be long lost friends. The reason the Hamas people are shooting at us, white people from Europe, is that they have guns. If they didn't have guns, we would be making love. No, if they didn't have the guns, they would be quietly raped and they couldn't do shit about it. So now they have guns. Who supplied the guns? Who cares? It's like the cop of this, shooting victim trying to go and actually follow the victim's suggestion and go arrest the father of the girl who has supplied her with a gun that has shot this motherfucker who was trying to rape her. You see what I'm saying? It's not that difficult to understand. You can arrest the father, the brother, you can take him to jail and you can shoot them. Okay, fine. But now let's assume that nobody else provide this poor bastard, her daughter, with arms or means of defending herself. Then this guy, once his wounds are healed, he goes and rapes the woman. This time he's sure that she's not armed. It's sort of like what happened to Iraq. First, remove the arms from them, a means of defending themselves, then go and rape her. The whole United Nations arms reduction of Iraq, the whole United Nations, let's remove all weapons of mass destruction from Iraq. It's like removing any weapon that the girl might have in order to defend herself. Let's remove all those weapons. Now let's go after the girl. That's exactly what happened to Iraq. For many years, under sanctions and embargoes, to get rid of the weapons. They got rid of the weapons. Sanctions and embargoes wasn't lifted until the girl was raped. It's not rocket science. It's just not. We don't want those motherfuckers over there to have nuclear weapons. Why? If you're planning on making love to them, the Germans also have nuclear weapons. The French also have nuclear weapons. The British have nuclear weapons. Because you're not planning on raping them, it's going to be all good. You're making love to the French, to the British. Therefore, nothing is, you don't care whether they have one nuclear warhead or 100 nuclear warhead. The only time you care if the other guy has nuclear warheads or not is that if you're planning on raping her. The only time I care whether my girlfriend has a gun in her house or not is if I'm planning on raping her. And just in a sane society, you will say, okay, no, nobody's planning on raping anybody, so nobody should worry about anybody having any means of defense, including guns or nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons is a defensive measure, especially because whoever doesn't have nuclear weapons is always in a danger of being invaded. Because if you don't have the ultimate weapon on planet Earth at this time, which is a nuclear weapon, if you don't have the ultimate means of defense, you're always vulnerable. Because some do have that ultimate means of defense, and then some, and they're safe. The rest are vulnerable. This nuclear non-proliferation treaty is basically trying to keep everybody's pants down. Nuclear non-proliferation treaty is saying that no, we 5 races on this planet can have this weapon, you know, but the rest of you motherfuckers should be walking around naked so we can rape you whenever we want. And you won't touch us because we have nuclear weapons. You see where I'm going with this? You can't fight back because the most you can do is fight back up to your borders. Because if you invade our borders, we're gonna, eliminate you with nuclear weapons. Here's the thing, folks. Hamas, terrorists, fine. In New York City, they had a lot of, mobs. They're also terrorists. Mafias. Mafia is a terrorist organization, just like a militia. The reason they exist, there's a reason they exist. There is some kind of injustice going on, and therefore, the rich people are taking, too much advantage of the poor people, so there is a necessity for a mob. Believe it or not, the mobsters used to exist to protect the poor from the rich. That's one of the reasons they became fast friends with the, workers' unions. Sort of like the mob is a natural leader for a workers' union because, it goes above the law, below the law, on the side of the law to achieve its means. And who needs that? People who of no means. People who have the means, they have their own private army. People who don't have the means have to try to go under the laws, on the side of the law or above the law. That's where the mob comes in. If you have a veto power in United Nations, you don't need to go above the law or below the law. You are the law. If you have nuclear weapons, you are the law. You don't need to break any laws because you are the law. That's the whole idea behind this joke about Mr. Pompeo's joke about rules-based order. It's like rules-based, and we are the rule because we have both, a strong conventional means of raping you and a strong, nuclear means of raping you. Which one do you want? Therefore, it's our rule, rules-based. And they keep referring to these, anybody who doesn't have the girth to be part of the rules-based social order, Uncle Sam's manager's rules-based social order, those who don't have the girth become terrorists, become mobsters, have to go around the law because the law is never on their side. I mean, the next time they tell you who's backing some cocksucker over there who shot me, the next time you believe that is the problem, the guy who has supplied the gun to the girl. The next time they try to tell you that is the problem, ask yourself, why did the girl shot at you? I don't care who supplied the girl with the gun. Why did she shoot at you? Why did she try to kill you? I kind of doubt that you try to make love to her and in the process she shot you. She didn't shoot you just because she had a gun. She was happy with you. She was about to make love to you, but because she had a gun, she shot you. Now let's go get the guy who provided her with the gun. The next time these folks try to tell you that, yeah, you see, we were about to make love with the Yemenis. We were about to make love with the Arabs, Abraham Accords. We were about to make love with these sheiks. We were about to make love with the Egyptians. We are making love with the Jordanians. The next time somebody tries to tell you that we were about to make love with these folks, the two-state solution and the Abraham Accords, and we were making love. The next time they tell you that, remember this story. No, they were trying to rape them. They didn't want to accept. So making love turned into raping, and somebody supplied them with arms. Now, was it Russia? Was it China? Was it Iran? Was it Argentina? Was it Brazil? Was it, Indonesia? Somebody supplies arms. When anybody, forget about being a father or a brother, if you see a girl getting raped, if even if you can't directly get involved, you do supply something to the girl so she can fight back the rapist. And believe me, nobody gets shot during the process of making love. You know, the Europeans, the Ashkenazi folks in Israel, were not about to make love to the Palestinians, and in the process, Hamas shot them. They weren't making love with the Palestinians. With the natives of the land, these Europeans, Ashkenazi folks from Europe and North America who have gone to Israel, they're not exactly trying to make love with the locals. If they were trying to make love with the locals, they will already be a secular society, and brown and black and white would be all living together. They weren't about that. They were about, no, 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 you move this mine. You move this mine. That was the whole process in Israel.